PACE 1120, this is the last one at this level, the second level of English, and it does a lot more with writing skills. This one covers some topics like writing articles of different types and then writing letters, so we do a lot of that. I do want to draw this to your attention as you begin though. When you get to page 7, it says, on the lines below, copy at least 4 headlines from newspapers. A lot of newspapers are going out of print, and your family may not subscribe to a newspaper. If you are attending a school, the school may subscribe, or maybe you can talk to some of the staff members and find out if somebody has newspapers. And if so, if for a week or two they could hold on to all of the newspapers that they get and not just recycle them, but bring them in so that you have access to them while you go through this PACE. Or maybe if your grandparents live nearby, maybe grandpa likes to read the paper or something. The other option is, I know here in our area, the public library has newspapers available. They even have the Wall Street Journal and New York Times, newspapers like that, as well as the local papers. And so you could, to finish some of these assignments, go to the local library and be able to do these, okay? Then when you get to page 8, it says, look through newspapers until you find a good example of a news story. Clip that news story and staple it to this page. Now again, if you've had newspapers given to you, you can find one, cut it out, answer the questions, and staple it in. If you are at a library, take some coins with you, talk to the librarian about how to photocopy the article, and then you can staple that in, answer the questions, and show your supervisor. I have not at this point found a good online source of articles that I recommend students go to. If you or your supervisor or parents have found something like that and allow you to do that, great. But otherwise, I think it is a good experience to learn to look through newspapers and find articles of this type. So they talk about different types of articles. And even again, like here, when you get to page 11, you're going to have to look through newspapers, find a feature story. And that's usually not in the first section. Usually it's in a section a little bit further back into the paper, and answer questions about it and then staple that in. And then you do that as you go throughout the PACE. And then at the back, they talk about letters and having you write some letters, and that should be fairly easy, and folding envelopes, okay? But the hardest part, and you need to know this before you start, is you do have to have access to some newspapers. So that's why my biggest tip before you start PACE 1120 is to think that through, talk to your supervisor, your parents, find a resource for articles. For probably a good week or two, you'll need access to some newspapers, all right?